Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom. This is your brother Quan Walter, the Great Millstone Charlotte Camp. Coming with another quick lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. And this evening, I want to touch on this article of the Natural News because as we see, uh, Trump's intentions to for this mass deportation, could really lead to hyperinflation, right? Because the majority of these workers, of these people rather, Northern Kingdom, are going to be that are going to be deported, work these jobs that are key to the maintaining of this American lifestyle, man. They work the construction jobs, they work the farm jobs, right? They work all these jobs that these Americans refuse to work. And once they have to start hiring people at decent wages, that's going to cause what? An inflation, a rapid inflation of goods and services, man, right? And so the food is going to spike, right? Housing is going to continue to spike, right? People's rent is going to go up, things of that nature, right? But that's why, like it says in this article, U.S. off of Natural News, it says U.S. farm industry groups urge Trump to exempt illegal immigrant agricultural workers from mass deportation orders because they know, the severity that's going to have on the food supply chain, man, right? Because prices are already, creeping up, and as they get rid of the cheap labor, right? They be using Issachar, and other Northern Kingdom, Southern Kingdom too, but mainly, Northern Kingdom, right? As they've been using them for cheap labor, they've been able to maintain these prices, at a reasonable or so-called reasonable level, right? But once they have to start, paying people a livable wage or a decent wage, then that's when we're going to start to see things, go through the roof, right? Now, just reading in this, it says here. Farm industry groups are appealing to President-elect Donald Trump to make exemptions for businesses in the agricultural sector from his promise of ordering the mass deportation of illegal immigrants, right? Because the majority of these people, specifically the agricultural side, are illegal, man, right? So they're just working any jobs they can get. It says in his first major interview with NBC News after winning the presidency, Trump confirmed that he would implement the largest deportation of undocumented immigrants in American history, regardless of logistical and financial implications when he takes office in January. So he's not concerned, right, with the effect it's going to have on the economy, right? This is the things that they don't tell you, right? All these proud Edomites, that are, jumping for joy that Trump is back in office, don't realize that the moves he's going to make are going to assist in the collapse of this economy, man. You know? Now it says, select where we at. It says the mass deportation of undocumented workers or undocumented immigrants will have no exemptions. It is not a question of a price tag, Trump said during a phone interview on Thursday, November 7th. It is not really. We have no choice. When people have been killed and murdered, when drug lords have destroyed countries, and now they're going to go back to those countries because they're not staying here, there is no price tag, right? So he's willing to do anything and risk anything, to reestablish that that American, dominance, right, in these different sectors. But it's going to be, to the America's detriment, man, because that was the only thing keeping them afloat, was cheap labor from these undocumented workers. It says, according to the Department of Labor and Department of Agriculture, nearly half of America's approximately 2 million farm workers, including dairy and meatpacking workers, lack legal status. In turn, the USDA disclosed that the agricultural sector alone contributed to 1.5 trillion or 5.6% to the United States gross domestic product in 2023. David Ortega, a professor of food economics and policy at Michigan State University, warned that deporting workers could shock the food supply chain, which could lead to increased prices and economic strain, right? Because I was reading an article speaking on, do I still have it up? I don't think I still have it up, but more or less, it was speaking on how roughly the percentage of labor, per worker directly affects the percentage of the price of your food cost, man. So if the workers' wages have to go up 10%, then your food cost goes up 10%. If it goes up 50%, food cost goes up 50%. If it goes up 100%, food cost goes up 100%, right? So if they're paying somebody $10 an hour, right, because they can, because they don't have any legal standing to ask for more, then when they get them out of there and send them back to their countries, then they're gonna. It's a lot. It's a lot. It says, what was I saying? Oh, um, if they start them at 10 and have to bump them up to 15, 20, right? So that'd be a 50, 100% increase. So an item that cost $5 would cost, you know, $10 now, right? You know, uh, they got Jose out there picking avocados for $5 an hour, or if let's say he was making $15 an hour, right? But that's a strenuous job. So now they got to get somebody and get them out there and they're working $25 an hour, right? So that percentage is going to reflect in the cost. So an avocado will go from being $3 to $5, $6, man, right? So we're about to see food costs continue to, rapidly increase, should he uh, succeed in implementing this mass deportation, man, which is going to lead to hyperinflation because you're going to start to see a run on food, a run on gas, a run on water, because people begin to panic, right? Which is going to cause prices to, again, continue to skyrocket, man, because then they're going to start to put caps, right, on the amount of items people can purchase, you know? But continuing in this article, it reads, um, Ortega also disclosed that illegal immigrants in the agricultural sector are filling critical roles that many U.S.-born workers are either unable or unwilling to perform. Right? Because these people aren't going to do these jobs, man. This strenuous labor, right? That they're not going to get down and dirty, right? In all these, agricultural jobs, man, in these meat packing plants, right? On these farms, right? That's why they use the undocumented labor, right? The immigrants that are here, the Northern Kingdom chiefly, because they're willing to do these things for not that much pay, you know, and it's still slavery, man. It says. Rep. John Duarte, a fourth-generation farmer from California's agricultural-rich Central Valley region, echoed a similar statement. He suggested that the administration should grant leniency to long-term immigrant workers without criminal records and explore pathways to permanent legal status, because if not, small towns would collapse if these workers were deported, man. Right? Because it's going to cause right a major ripple effect right up the supply chain. Once they have to start, both finding new work and uh, uh, finding new workers rather, and paying them. Because it's going to take time to establish these things, right? Now, it reads here. There was another point I wanted to make. Uh, yeah, we'll jump down. It says here, uh, Trump transition spokesperson Caroline Levitt echoed a similar statement, but did not directly address the farm industry's concerns. The American people re-elected President Trump by a resounding margin, giving him a mandate to implement the promises that he made on the campaign trail, like deporting migrant criminals and restoring our economic greatness. He will deliver, right? So they believe he's going to deliver on all these promises, right? It says, in response, Dave Puglia, president and CEO of Western Growers, which represents produce farmers, clarified that the group definitely supports deportation of criminals and those with final deportation orders, but is also concerned about its impacts to the agricultural sector. Right, so they're pretty much afraid of the ripple effects that this is going to cause, man, because they know food prices are going to skyrocket, all goods and service prices are going to skyrocket. Because who do you think is building these houses, right? Who do you think, right, is fixing these roads? Who do you think is doing all these hard, strenuous labor jobs, man? Right? You might have some Edomites, you might have some Jake, right? But the majority of it is the Northern Kingdom, man, right? Issachar is out there, yeah, right? You got them coming up through South America, so you have the rest of the Northern Kingdom coming up, right, through Venezuela, Argentina, Brazil, right? They're all coming up, and working these jobs because nobody else is willing to, and they're willing to work for cheap, So whether the jobs are completely done away with or they have to start paying people more, right, it's going to cause a major ripple effect in the economy, right? Now, let's get here and get a few scriptures. Ooh, so like it's Second Esdras 15, and let's see, actually I think it's 16. Salakia. Yep, it's Second Esdras 16 and 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, and the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And part of that evils, as it read, is the famine, man. Right? Part of that evils is what we're about to see in regards to hyperinflation taking place, man. What we're about to see in regards to the runs on different goods because of there's going to be a severe lack, right? Verse 19, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute, right? So these are all, right, the will of Yahweh Bashim Shai, being sent to judge these people, man. Right? These are the scourges, right? Punishments, right, for the correction of you Israelites and the ultimate destruction of this Edomite hegemony, man. Right? But for all these things, they shall not always turn for their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, right? Because we're in the midst of what would be considered a recession or a slight depression, man, or a full depression, really. You know, it's just been fluffed up, right? And people have been putting them, the mindset of complacency, right, and acceptance of the situation that we're in, right? But the goods may feel relatively cheap, right? But like I said, people shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right? So this is a part of what we're about to see, you know, because that famine is being manufactured, right? It's being manipulated, and Trump is working hand in hand with these elites, right, to bring it to pass, because it's not going to be a lack of actual food. It's going to be a lack of access to food because people can't pay for it, right? Or because they're not allowing you to to get to it, you know, right? So now they're gonna present people with that MOTB, that implantable device, and they're gonna make promises of, right? You're gonna be able to feed your families, you're gonna be able to take care of your households, right? You're gonna have access to, food, water, protection, housing, you know, and all those things are gonna be affected through this hyperinflation that we're seeing, man. Right? So this manufactured famine, right? Whether how small, right? The deportation, if Trump is allowed to do that, these migrants, is going to be a major blip, a major hiccup, right? In this system, man. Right? It says, um, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right? So the sword, right, being various means and forms of death, right? But that famine, like it says in Lamentations, right, it is better, roughly paraphrasing, to be slain with the sword than fall by the famine, right? Because those who perish of famine pine away, which is a major suffering, man. You know, and when people already are struggling to afford groceries, how much more when they have to pay 2 to 3 to 4 to 10 to 100 times more than now or in the future. You know, let's go to Matthew 24. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 8. It reads, "All these." Actually, we're gonna start up. Let's see. Well, that's the point. Yeah. Uh, Matthew 24:7, verse 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, right? So we see that taking place: Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Hamas, Israel, Palestine, whatever, right? The American proxy wars that we're seeing, them getting themselves involved in, right? You will continue to hear about these things. You shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet, right? So we still have prophecy, right, that has to be fulfilled. For nation shall rise against nation, and for kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines, pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places, man. Right? So we're going to see famine, right? Hyperinflation is a form of famine because your access to goods and services is is more or less taken away from you through the economic downturn, man. Right? The pestilences. People are going to lose access to medicine, to healthcare, right? Which is going to lead to what? More infection, more disease. These things start to, rise up, right? Earthquakes, right? Lord sending natural disasters in diverse places, man. Right? So these are all, like it says, verse 8, all these are the beginning of sorrows, right? So the evils, times that we're about to see, brothers went into that Ezekiel 7th chapter at midweek camp this week, right? All these are the beginning of sorrows, the beginnings of evils and only evils that are about to take place, man. Right? So like that article was speaking on, the the farm industry is urging Trump to create an exemption for these deportation orders because they know the economic consequences that are going to come as a result of it, man. They can see down the pipeline or down the pike rather that this is going to be to America's detriment. You know. Let's see, Slovakia. And the beautiful thing of this is that we understand that the elect are going to be taken care of in these times, man. Right? Though we're going to be going through, tough times, hard times, persecutions, right? Dealing with the bitter, of, you know, uh, of following in Yahweh Shai, right? We're going to be protected because we continue, to be steadfast in our belief and be unmovable. You know, all these things are being, presented to us to shake our faith, but we're not going to be, overthrown by these, man. Lord willing, we endure. That's why we continue to pray, right? Now, this is Proverbs 10 and 2, because you can't say the same about these people out here, man, right? The masses, who put their faith in this system. It says, Proverbs 10:2, treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death, right? So even though hyperinflation is imminent, right, the treasures of wickedness are going to prove themselves to be worthless. But this relation, Salaki, this relationship that you build with Yahweh Shem Shai is going to be what delivers you from these coming calamities, man. Right? That gives you that hedge of protection, that house, right? That strong tower that you can flee into in these times of trouble. Right? Verse 3, it says, the Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish. Right? So his elect are going to eat. Right? I think it's Isaiah, what is it, 65, if I'm not mistaken. It'll be 63. Oh, 65, here we go, right here. So Isaiah 65:13. Therefore, thus said the Lord power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, and going back to that second measure, right, that confusion that is going to be upon these people, right? It says, therefore, it's like, behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit, because they're going to fall victim to all these things, man. The Lord is going to deliver us, and He's going to punish the wicked, man. These scourges for amendment, right, that are being sent. These are for the wicked, man. And for their sakes came the and for their sakes came the flood, right? So all these things are being designed to destroy wicked Israelites and these heathen, man. Right? Now we're gonna have to be purified through these things, but ultimately we're gonna make it out on the other side, right? You know, uh, uh, better off for it, man. You know, um, what's the point on that? It's where we at? Ten. Proverbs 10:3. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but He casteth away the substance of the wicked, man. So that's the substance of the wicked is going to be cast away, right? The goods that they store up, right? Even though they might have more, financial liberty, it's going to come to naught, right? Those things are being prepared for the elect to find, to come across all these bunkers and doomsday hideouts and, caches of, goods. These are being preserved for the elect, right? These, these, what do they call it? Preppers, doomsday preppers aren't even going to be allowed to enjoy those things or to partake in them because it's not for them, right? They're gathering gathering these things so that that provision can be made for the elect, man. Through Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, let's go to Psalm 37. This is Psalm 37:5. Slide 25. Psalm 37:25. It reads, I have been young, and now I'm old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread, man. So if the food, if the access to food dries up, right, because we're gonna be in the midst of a famine of food and a famine of the word, right? But the famine of food is gonna be because of, you're not gonna be able to get the food, right? There it's gonna be there, right? There are gonna be people who have it, right? These people in these upper echelons, but the those who refuse this mark, who refuse to bow the knee, aren't gonna have access to it, and then even those who do, right? They're gonna have limited access to it, and they're gonna fall victim anyway, right? Because they showed themselves to be a part of this beast, man. And the Lord is going to judge them for that, man. You know? But like I said, I have been young and now I'm old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread, man. So the righteous aren't going to be forgotten. They're not going to be left, to suffer, right? That we're not going to be out here begging, right? We're going to be trusting in the Lord and understanding that He's going to provide a way, right? Where there seems to be no way. He already has, protections and provisions, stored away for His chosen, and you have to have the utmost faith that that is the case, man. Right? And like the scriptures say, it's already written, man. Right? So we just have to believe this, you know. And then we'll close with this because we're coming into, evil times, man. And we have to make sure we're prepared in the spirit, you know. This is Ephesians 5:15. It reads, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." Right? So we have to continue to walk circumspectly, seeing what's going on, right? Staying abreast to the news, staying abreast to these articles, right? Staying abreast to the elder apostles in their lessons, brothers in their lessons, man, because every brother, right, is bringing out information that uh, is going to assist in your salvation, man, right? And so that's part of being circumspectly, right? Walking circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil, man. Right? And you go into that word for redeem. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I'll have to get it in the blue letter. Yeah. Let's see, I don't know why the hell it's Esau. That's all. Satan try to hinder the lesson. But you know the point, man. Right? Seeing all these things coming to pass. Right? Like the scriptures tell us. Right? How should ye be? In I believe it's in Second Peter. Why is it doing that? Let's see. Slovakia. Okay, there we go. This is actually let me get that first since I quoted it. See, Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 11. It reads, "Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversations and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming day of the Lord, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat." Right. But the point being, right? No, what manner of persons ought you to be, right? With the understanding that we're about to, walk into the most perilous times the earth has ever known, right? The only thing you have is your faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And if you don't have that, you have nothing, right? And the majority of these people have nothing, man, right? The only people who have anything is the elect, right? These you true believers, we have the greatest value on earth right now, you know. And as you read through these articles and you see the despair, right, on these people, right, reading the despair, and you can hear it in the tone of the articles, and with them understanding that they're all this place is always one miscalculation away from complete collapse, right? We understand that it's all the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and He's going to protect, right, those who refuse to bow before this beast system, man, right? Now I wanted to get that word before I close out. Salakia. If this thing will cooperate. Ephesians 5 and 15, 16. For redeeming. They said redeeming the time because the days are evil. It says here, jumping down, it's Strong's G 1805, exaggerazo. It says in here, definition A, to make wise and safer use of every opportunity for doing good, so that the zeal and well doing, or as it were, the purchase of money by which we make the time our own, right? So, making good use of the time you've been afforded, the grace period that you've been afforded through Yahweh's sacrifice, right? Doing the most that you can within this time frame to build that relationship, to build your faith, right? Your confidence in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh, you know, continue to lean upon the Lord in your day to day, because then it'll be second nature when you have to lean upon Him in these times of trouble, man. Right? So redeeming the time, right? Trusting in the Lord, building that relationship, right, during this time, because the days are evil, man. So now, Lord willing, I was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I want to close by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect pushing this word without truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom, shalom.